I've always thought that I wasn't much for liking bad movies. Like I've said before, I don't watch them because life's too short to watch bad movies.
Hey J-Dub, have you seen my coat? I can't seem to find it.
But I must admit that when the idea of guilty pleasures comes to mind, okay, I like several of those. And one in particular springs to my brainstem when I think about this guy back here.
Hey, never mind. I found my old Otokojuku coat. I'll wear that today.
The principal will now introduce the video.
わしがOtokojuku町江田島平八である。以上。
Nah, for this review, use mine.
立ち上がれしても譲れないものがある振り向くな後ろに道はない突き進め
So, Sakigake Otokojuku is a beloved manga from the 80s and 90s that showed just how tough that schoolboys could be. The story was a creation by Miyashita Akira and ran in Jump Comics from 1985 to 1991. It showed the prestigious Otokojuku school run by the headmaster Heihachi Edajima. Heihachi was a World War II veteran who opened up the school to teach Japanese men strength, honor, integrity, and Japanese nationalism pride, even though his methods might be a bit on the brutal side.
Oh, that's your coat from school? Yeah, fits me just like it did back then.
But I thought your other coat was your school coat.
Yeah, that was my junior high school coat. This is my high school coat from Otokojuku.
Oh. See, Sakigake Otokojuku, like I told everybody in the dodgeball review, was based on my graduating class at Otokojuku.
Shinichiro, Hidemaru, Taiyo, Togashi, Toromaru, and of course, Momotaro.
It told of their trials and tribulations at the school until our eventual final graduation. So, if you went to Otokojuku with everybody, then why aren't you mentioned in the manga?
I am.
What? You are? You're Jay?
Better believe it.
So in 2007, actor Tak Sakaguchi decided to write and direct a movie based on the beloved story of Sakigake Otokojuku. And so it was filmed in under 2 weeks at a budget of less than $400,000. Most of the script was based off of the first several tankobon of the manga and was redesigned to make it a shorter story. So is that why your character was written out?
Yeah, it just would have taken too long to explain why an American was going to a Japanese school, you know? What?
You're Jay!
Oh, jeez.
So the movie goes a bit different than the manga in that it tells more of the story of Gokugoji Hidemaru and his experience at the school. The heroes of the story still act like they do in the manga, but this is a movie, so we need somebody to grasp onto, and I guess Hidemaru is it.
Hidemaru doesn't want to go to Otokojuku. He's happy being a punk rich kid who gets what he wants. But one day, he's in a bad area of town and almost gets beaten up. He gets saved by Momotaro and is told by his savior and his mother that he needs to attend Otokojuku.
In this movie, the first years still get harassed by the second years, and eventually the Kanto Gogakuren, who are a rebel team of students who are led by expelled Otokojuku student Omitodate. The movie follows a very awkward way of storytelling in that they try to put in several stories from the manga into the movie. This makes the storytelling erratic, and they're only there to grow the characters to get you to care for them. This does make the movie drag a bit though, as between each story we come back to Date telling how he's going to get revenge on everyone. Here we are at Otokojuku.
I'll get revenge.
I made a mistake. Oopsie.
I'll get revenge.
Don't make me go back there, Mommy.
I'll get revenge.
Hey, I have a date.
The time for revenge is now.
It's all really bad writing, but surprisingly, very much like reading a manga. So I guess that evens out?
As far as the acting goes, it's really very good, and there's some amazing actors in the list. Shoei makes a very good Togashi and acts the fool very well. And while I would have preferred someone much more stout and taller to be Headmaster Erajima, who is so tough that he rode a satellite out of orbit, their choice of actor was also good here. Kajimaro does an astounding job in relaying his regalness and Erajima's inner strength. But the best hands down is the man himself, Tak Sakaguchi. Man, can he act! And the fighting? Oh, that's top notch! Well, it doesn't hurt that he was a real-life street fighter before he became an actor, too. The thing is, everybody acting in it was a fan of the manga, and so they put their all into their characters to make them just like the comics. Some things have changed from the manga, though. Togashi doesn't hide live chickens in his gakuran to act as padding. But the gallons of blood, fish being tossed into acid, punishments, and even the fake Minmay Publishing Company pamphlets that were prevalent in the manga were all there. The costumes are really nice too, and about as accurate as you can get without changing them. All the way from Momotaro's ascot to the bunny undies. They really made it like the manga.
下を脱げおっすおっすよーし下を脱げおっすおっすよーし下を脱げ
私何も履いておりません。
よーし
And then there's the B-movie moments that you just can't ignore. Some things are just really bad. Really, hilariously, wonderfully bad.
Bear suit, bear suit.
ジャスト
Yeah, that just happened.
It's just such a bad bear suit!
And why are all the students so old looking?
Oi! Those are my school brothers you're talking about!
School brothers?
In 2008, Momotaro's class was invited back to Otokojuku for this movie. Those are my classmates! Those are the real men of Otokojuku!
So you and Psycho Taku were in that movie?
Yeah! There and there. Oh, and over there.
But what about that really hokey 300-kilo flag? It's totally foam.
Well, there was no reason to bring out the real thing. Only for special occasions, not for silly movies. $400,000 and it was made in under 2 weeks.
I know.
Sheesh.
But seriously, this is such a fun film, especially if you're a fan of the manga. And even if you aren't, the jokes are still funny and just plain weird and outrageous. The action is tight and the acting is very fun. So if you like B-movies or even just schlocky manga, you'll really enjoy this movie.
Hey, you hungry?
Yeah, would you like me to make something?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, I love gyudon. Gyudon's this kind of beef bowl. It's a kind of like Japanese fast food. It's very healthy and it's fairly easy to make. Now, this is also what Togashi Genji and that one girl were eating in the restaurant scene in the movie. Now, what you'll need are some very basic ingredients. You're going to need a white onion, some very thinly sliced meat, and you probably want to get some rice ready while you're making all this. To make Japanese steamed rice, rinse the rice several times to get the starch out of it. If you're using a Japanese rice cooker, then just start it and walk away. If you're using just a pot, then add 2 cups of rice to 4 cups of water. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. Making just 1 cup of rice, then just use 2 cups of water. Get the water boiling, then add the rice. Stir it for a bit and then put on the lid. Set it to simmer and don't lift the lid. It will cook, trust me. It will take about 20 to 25 minutes. Now the meat that I got today is actually for shabu shabu, but since it's thinly sliced meat, it's perfect for making gyudon. You can see it's really thinly sliced, and I cut it across to make it shorter pieces. Now I'm making this for Yankee J and myself, so kind of gauge what I'm using and have it if it's just you, Or if you want to make the whole thing, then invite a friend over. Carefully slice the onion wedges like this. To make the sauce for the gyudon, add 6 teaspoons of soy sauce, 4 teaspoons of sake, or if you have it, white wine, 4 teaspoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of mirin. Now mirin is actually a very essential Japanese ingredient. If you're going to be making a lot of Japanese dishes, then you're going to be using mirin in almost every single one of them. So don't worry about the price, just go ahead and get it. It will keep and you will use it. Now add it all to the pan and mix it up. Let it cook and get hot, then just add the beef. Keep your spoon going, don't let it sit. Since this meat is cut so thin, it will cook fast. If you overcook the beef, then it will get tough and you don't want that. When the meat is cooked, just pull it out and quickly give it a nice shake or two and plate it. Next, we're going to saute the onions in the juice that we just cooked the meat in, so it'll soak up all those delicious flavors. Yeah, just get the liquid to a boil, cover it, and reduce the heat. You simmer it until they become golden brown, which will take about 12 to 15 minutes on simmer. Then you add the meat back in to warm it up, and now your rice should be ready. Get a bowl, fill it 2/3 full with rice, and add the beef onion mixture. And some of those yummy juices too. And that's it. It's a very healthy meal and takes no time at all to make. And you can make it on a budget too. Making 2 bowls for Yankee J and myself was less than $5 for the both of us.
Now Yankee J and I like our gyudon with lots of pickled ginger. In the movie, Togashi said that they could have all the pickles that they wanted, and Yankee J taught me how good gyudon can taste with pickled ginger.
It's called Beni Shoga and it's so good.
Yeah, I got this bottle in the Oriental store for about $3. It keeps really well, and we use it every time we have gyudon.
It has a nice sourness that goes really well with the beef.
Yeah.
You think that you can play this? Now you can. You think that you can play this? Let's see what he said. I know that you can play this. You follow JewWario. You can play this. You can play this.
Man, I just really wonder what happened to my other coat.
No clue. No clue at all, man. But that coat looks really good on you.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?